Yo, yo, yo. What up, everybody? Welcome to another stream. We are just hanging out today. There's so much content I want to watch. So much content I want to watch. And not enough time to watch it. You know what I mean? Can any of you relate to that? Anyone watching this VOD? It's possible that you do. And if you do, then today is your lucky day or it's my lucky day rather, because I'm going to be watching some content here with you, or you're going to be watching content with me, actually, because, I think there's a saying that's really applicable here: killing two birds with one stone. And that's what we're going to be doing today, or that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be killing a couple birds with a single stone. Welcome, everybody. Yo, yo, yo. I'm looking for something that I really wanted to watch. Oh, yeah, Alex Becker. I wanted to watch his latest video. See what's up with that. This 10-year path, beginner-friendly 10-year path. I want to watch that. But we'll just wait a little bit here. We'll get this stream cooking first. You got to get the stream cooking before you actually start watching content. That's a tip out there for those of you that are streamers. I'm not a streamer, but actually I am a streamer. I'm not a big streamer or a good streamer, but I am streaming. So yeah, that's, something we're going to be watching. By the way, this is the latest Steve Jobs memoir that just came out by his publishing company. Apparently, it's from his words. I've obviously read the Walter Isaacson biography that he wrote about Steve Jobs, and it was incredible. I love that book. It made me buy all of Walter Isaacson's biographies that he's written. And this one apparently is in the POV of Steve Jobs. So I want to be, and it's free. It's a free digital download. So maybe while we wait, I'll start reading this. There's lots of ways to be as a person. That's a weird sentence. There's lots of ways to be as a person, and some people express their deep appreciation in different ways, but one of the ways that I believe people express their appreciation to the rest of humanity is to make something wonderful and put it out there. And you never meet the people, you never shake their hands, you never hear their story or tell yours, but somehow, in the act of making something with a great deal of care and love, something's transmitted there, and it's a way of expressing to the rest of our species our deep appreciation. So we need to be true to who we are and remember what's really important to us. Steve Jobs, 2007. What a bar. Welcome, everybody. Harry, how are you? Kyle, how are you? I'm good. I'm just having a good time here. Got a lot of work done this morning. Still getting work done. Still, there's always work to be done. That's, I may not agree with Andrew Tate on a lot of things, but I do agree with him in the fact that there is always work to be done. There is no, as an entrepreneur, at least me, with the businesses that I have, which I love and I'm passionate about and I love working on, there is never a moment of boredom. There's always work to be done that I can find. So I think I agree with, he said that in a clip I saw on TikTok. He's like, I don't know how people get bored. There's always something to be done. There's always work to be done. You can always find work if you just look for it. And I agree. I feel the same way. But yeah, there was a lot. This morning I did a lot. I made a video on this stuff, on Wildling. I thought this was a really good store. A really solid product idea. This guashas, I don't know how you pronounce them. There's a lot of them, but there's an interesting trend going on right now which I mentioned in the Ecom lab, or rather, our team mentioned here, the body ones. These are new. These are new ones right there. But yeah, do you trade a meme coin, Ari? I do. I don't trade. I did buy one meme coin, and I don't want to say it even because I don't want to check the price. I made a vow to myself. So basically, what I did is I got $2,000 worth of Arbitrum token. Let's see the price of Arbitrum right now. I can look at that. That's fine. Okay, 113. Good. I sold my Arbitrum tokens that I got for free. I got airdropped $2,000 worth of Arbitrum, and I sold them right about here. Thank God I did. I sold them, yeah, actually, like pretty close to this little peak. Not at the top here. I didn't sell it at the top. Actually, maybe I did. I don't remember. But either way, it was $2,000 worth. So what I did is I put half of that. I said, okay, half of this I'm taking back. Like I'm just gonna put it in, into my stock portfolio, my other investments, my business, right? Like, and then the other 1,000, I was like, well, this was free money. I'm gonna put this other 1,000 into a stupid meme coin, and I'm gonna hold it for 2 weeks minimum, and see what happens. And this was about a week ago that I did this. I sold the Arbitrum a while ago, but this a week ago I bought this one stock, or sorry, not stock, a meme coin, shitcoin, and I haven't checked it since I bought it. I put $1,000 into it, and I don't want to check it. I said to myself, hold this for 2 weeks because meme coins, right away they pop off, but also they pop off after if they catch fire through other influencers. So I'm just chilling right now. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to think about it. I already think that money is completely gone to zero. So I'm just going to wait it out. And then, once those 2 weeks that I set for myself are done, I'll check it. And hopefully it's worth 10,000 now or 20,000 now and not zero. But my expectation is that it's going to be worth zero. And that's, a pretty healthy attitude, I think, for trading meme coins. Otherwise, you're just going to lose all your money, let's be honest. Meta is a scam company. No, it's not, bro. Meta is, though they do have some sketchy things going on sometimes, it's a great company. I mean, they're killing it. They make so much money, and nobody's going to stop using them, no matter how many people say it's a scam. That's great. I'm currently starting a new dropshipping store. Nice. Good stuff, bro. Good stuff. I watch the launch of the first iPhone every now and then. It was just a game changer. Damn, I should check that out. Yep. Yeah, I agree with what Kyle said there, that not everyone can relate to like Andrew Tate, for example. There's a lot of things he says that you can relate to. You may not agree with everything. I definitely don't. But the key, like you said, is to be able to learn from people that you disagree with as well. I totally believe that. I think that's a really good call. PayPal are thieves. Did you end up getting back the money from them? Yeah, I actually haven't had any issues with PayPal in a long time. I'm crossing my fingers. But they are sketchy. Yeah, they are definitely sketchy. I did buy their stock recently, though. I'm not going to lie. I mean, if you guys are in the Ecom lab, which you should be, if you are serious about entrepreneurship, I've been talking about how I've been buying PayPal a little bit in there. It's at their 52-week low. And I mean, PayPal, love them or not, people love PayPal. Like consumers, regular NPCs absolutely love PayPal. And they trust it. I don't know. So, and I do use PayPal sometimes. Since I have money in PayPal a lot of times, if it's a payment option, sometimes I'll use it. So I bought some PayPal. I think they're going to continue to make good moves, even though they do kind of fuck over a lot of small business owners. Generally speaking, they do pretty well. And it was an Elon Musk company at the beginning. So I think overall the mission is good and probably going to grow as a company. So I've been buying them as a stock. Should I start a subscription-based e-commerce or not? Yeah, bro, do it. Do it. Why not? I mean, if it's a good idea, then do it. There's no reason not to if you think it's a good idea. All right, is the $1 per asset still working? No, I've never done that. That's like, I don't like little tricks like that, to be honest with you, bro. I don't like little tricks like that. I like to keep things simple and replicable. I don't think that really works. Maybe it's worked for some people, but I don't really like little tricks like that. So, no, I will say no. Issue, I can only use PayPal for my Shopify store. What are your thoughts about this? Better than nothing, man. Better than nothing. That's what I think about that. So this is going to be our first video on our watch list. But we'll build up a pretty big watch list here. So there's one. Hello. Welcome, everybody. We're still letting the stream cook a little bit before we actually start watching content. But I have a lot of content that I've been wanting to watch. So, yeah. Let's think here. Man, I can't remember what other content there was, but there was other videos that I wanted to see. I might watch this. Actually, sure, we'll put it on the watch list. We'll watch an Alex Hormozy banger. And that's about it for now, I guess. Can you share something about TikTok organic? Yeah, well, what? It's great. TikTok organic is awesome. It's a great way to get some viral content going and some traffic to your brand. Though I will say I haven't really, like, I post on my own personal TikTok, and I will say, I mean, it's pretty easy to get views. I haven't really put a ton of effort. I am very consistent, but I think one of the main things really is just using trending sounds if you can, and just being very consistent. That's kind of the key, it seems. Did you saw the new Jordan Welsh video? I did, yeah. Oh, actually, I kind of wanted to rewatch. I wanted to watch that on stream, but I've just been, for some reason, very lazy to stream, even though I shouldn't be, because it's a great way to farm content, and that was part of my plan for this year, so I really got to stream more, man. But I did watch it. I watched basically all of Jordan's videos, but this one was so good. I loved it. I wish I would have watched it on stream, though, but maybe we'll rewatch it again. Sometimes it's actually good to watch watch something multiple times over. I post AI stuff on TikTok and it's going crazy. Yeah, bro, I can imagine. I mean, TikTok is really great for virality, especially if you're talking about trending subjects like AI. I should definitely capitalize on that more, especially given that we do use AI a lot in our business. TikTok dropshipping organically. I mean, bro, you're not asking me anything. So I don't know what you want me to say about it. Like, yes, TikTok organic for dropshipping works. TikTok organic for anything works. Are you reviewing any ecom stores? I might, but the main purpose of today's stream is quite literally to watch content and farm content through the great content that other people are making. TikTok is easy to get views at first. Popular hashtags, popular sounds, and short call to action video descriptions. The hardest part for me is to maintain the retention. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Hi, Ari. I started to scale one of my stores, and after hitting constant 1K per day, PayPal banned me without any explanation. They also took 950 GBP from my account. What should I do? Any advice? So generally, when PayPal puts you on hold, they tell you why, and it's generally because they need proof of business, proof of address, proof of um, tracking information for your orders. So just it's got to be one of those. So contact them, add your business information to your account, and also add tracking numbers if you have them to the orders of your customers. And they should give you the money back. That's really the only thing you can do. Do you recommend starting ecom dropship in WordPress? What is the difficulty in running? Well, basically, no, I don't. I think Shopify is the best. I think Shopify is the best website building platform for an e-commerce business, 100%. Obviously, there's other alternatives like WordPress, what's it called? Wix, Squarespace. These are all great too. Don't get me wrong, they're fine. But Shopify is just the best. The Shopify checkout is becoming the standard online checkout in the industry. I've seen other stores that are not on Shopify replicating the Shopify checkout. So I think that's a sign that Shopify is here to continue to dominate. And it just makes it really easy. I think WordPress is a lot more difficult to integrate. I think there's not as many apps. Shopify has the App Store, which is really powerful. There's a lot of really good apps that are going to help you start your business. So, and the themes. I mean, it's just all those things combined just make Shopify the ideal website hosting platform, in my opinion, for an e-commerce business. But really for any business, I mean, I use it for everything. Why most people do not run Google Ads? That's a good question. Honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea why most people don't run Google Ads. It's just one of those things that it's trickier, I guess, than Meta ads. For some reason, the platform is just not as intuitive. And at least for me personally, that's why I never got into Google Ads. I thought Meta ads were just cleaner to run. But Google Ads are definitely great. I think more people should run Google Ads. Do you target Facebook pages? One or plenty? Yeah. Would you recommend Insta Reels with the new algorithm? For sure. I definitely would. I've been posting Insta Reels on my Instagram, and they do pretty well. I mean, they get decent views. Like, one of them, not recently, but one of them has like 100K views, 180K views. I definitely think it's worthwhile to post on Instagram Reels. I just posted this one like an hour ago. It's not doing that good, but it's okay. Sometimes they just get picked up by the algorithm.
In this video, I'm going to walk.
Oh, God. I heard oh, yeah. I heard Insta Reels will become the new trend. I realized for myself also. Well, I wouldn't say it's a new trend, but they're definitely powerful, but definitely not a new trend. What the other extensions next to similar web names? This is just a volume mixer. It's actually I got this for streaming because when you stream, sometimes the volume's not that high. I don't know why. And then that's MetaMask. And then I got a couple other ones like, the Meta Pixel Helper. This just shows you if there's a pixel installed on a site, which most of the time there is. Like if we go here, we can see that there is a pixel. Oh, what? Okay, well, it's detecting two, as you see, but whatever. And then this one is Loom. It's just for like a screen recorder. Like you can send messages through a screen recording. And then an AI one that honestly I should use more, but like it's just like an AI extension. It's kind of like ChatGPT, but as a Chrome extension. I haven't been using it too much though, not gonna lie. But it is pretty cool. And then AliSave Plus. This is just to download Alibaba images, AliExpress images, whatever. It's pretty nice. Um, shows an example of how you run ads like you used to do in 2018. New update, fresh start. I mean, I've done that so many times, bro. But yeah, just go on my channel and look it up. Look up Meta and like filter by latest. You'll find my latest video where I showed how you can set it all up. It's not really any different than 2018, straight up. The only difference is how you scale, maybe. Before, we used to do a lot of duplications, a lot of intricate things. Now it's more straightforward, just increase budgets. Once you start getting a lot of ad spend, you get into CBOs so that the CBO can allocate the budget more efficiently. It's really simple. It's really, the key is just offer, ad, product. Did you have a fun birthday? I did, actually. My birthday was, it was fun for me, like everyone has a different opinion on what a fun birthday is. For me, a fun birthday is I just got some delicious food with my girlfriend. We just spent the whole day together. I worked a bit. I wanted to work a little bit. She gave me some cool birthday gifts. And yeah, I read some books. It was just a chill day, which is what I wanted. Ari, I think subscription-based e-commerce is very underrated. What is your opinion? I think so too, but at the same time, I think it's not anything new. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a secret that subscriptions are powerful, right? Especially in dropshipping, like the MRR scams were very prominent, last year and the year before that. But even for other business, like a lot of businesses try to run subscriptions. It makes a lot of sense to do so. For example, I think on Crunchbase we can find a lot of these, but there are a lot of subscription-based ecom brands out there, and it's a great idea, but it's nothing new. So I don't know if it's underrated. I just think it's kind of difficult to think of something you can do as a subscription. You need products that people will buy over and over again. So, yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Do you think $300 per product for testing is enough? For sure. I think that's definitely enough. I think with $300, you will know more or less if it's going to work. And you could make it work even if it's not working with that amount of money, but that's a good amount. Not to be off topic, bro, but what is your dream vehicle? My dream vehicle, honestly, I don't have like a dream vehicle where it's like, oh man, but I would say, okay, I guess I do. Like a Ferrari, like a really nice Ferrari would be so nice. It would just be like a beautiful car. But I think the car that I want to get next, so the two cars that I want to get, I don't know, maybe this year, but I'm not sure, is sorry, not a Rolls Royce, Range Rover. I want like a family car because I'm trying to build a family. So a Range Rover, like a blacked out Range Rover, and then a Porsche for myself because I think I'm like a Porsche. I want to be like a Porsche. If that makes no sense, but they're just a beautiful car. I love Porsches. I think those are so nice. But like way down the line, like a dream vehicle would be for me probably like a blacked out Ferrari or like a white Ferrari. That would be pretty cool. That'd be really nice. But for some reason, I'm very much into the like old car aesthetic. Not the old Porsches. I actually don't like the old Porsches that much. But like I do like the older Ferraris and the older Range Rovers. So hopefully that answers your question. Hello, I hope you are fine. Today is my third day in Shopify or dropshipping. Can you tell me some products that I can start? No. There are so many products out there. I can't just like say one product. I could, but like just go test products. What will be one book that you'll recommend to someone who's in the business for some time already? That's a good question. Well, you know what? The book that I'm reading right now that's really good, I'll say this. the book that I'm reading right now that's really good. I've actually read it before. Is um, the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. It's really good because this guy thinks. I think this guy has a lot of similarities with my journey in the sense that like and in just his way of thinking, I feel like is really relevant, and I think it's very impactful for you to read that as an entrepreneur because it talks a lot about the concept of leverage and sort of this 80-20 principle, right? I really like the book a lot. It talks a lot about angel investing, all the different forms of leverage like capital, technology, labor, etc. And it just helps you understand things at a deeper level that I feel like will make you a higher level entrepreneur faster. And I think one of the things that he talks about a lot is like the concept of freedom and actually, you know, exploring your curiosity and building businesses off of that. I personally really vibe with that. That's how I've done it. And that's how I'm going to continue to do it. So, yeah. You trying to build a family, little Ari on its way? Yeah, well, no, not on its way, but I do want to build a family. I mean, there's, you know, it it's not like that yet, but I'm definitely open to it. Like if that happened, I'll be happy. So, yeah, definitely I'm thinking a lot more about family. I think that subscriptions are not underrated, they're simply harder to figure out. Exactly, I agree. Bro, you should get a Ford Bronco Raptor, my dream car. I really like those, but I like the older ones. Like, I'll show you. Like this one. This one is so sick. Hold on. I like this, for example. This one's really cool. Maybe I will, honestly. This one's a cool car. I like these a lot. Okay. I do want to start watching some content soon here, but we're gonna continue to let the stream cook. Answer a few more questions. So perfect, thank you. How many ad sets are recommended in price per ad set? I mean, I would say minimum 5 ad sets, and anywhere from $5 a day to $20 a day is suffice. That will be fine. Catch you soon, bro. Gonna continue working in my store. Nice. What do you think about visualization? And did you hear about this before? I mean, do you know what it is? Yeah, I know what it is. I mean, basically, like manifestation is another way to put it. Is visualizing your goals and dreams, and to be honest with you, I've always done this, even before I knew about it. So, for example, this apartment that I'm in, not gonna lie, I manifested this shit. Like I really did because I didn't even know an apartment like this existed in my city. I didn't even know it existed. But the moment that I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a year off of school. I'm gonna go all in on my business. I'm gonna move out of my parents' house. And like for some reason in my brain, I like pictured this like floor to ceiling window apartment. And I just had it so set in my mind. And somehow I went and looked for apartments and I just like stumbled upon this building and they had amazing deals. Um, yeah, so I do believe in that. I do think there is a lot of spiritual shit going on all around us that we just cannot comprehend at this point. And I don't even know if all those books, obviously, they're probably not right about exactly how any of this shit works. But I think there's no harm in it as long as you're putting your money where your mouth is type shit. Like if you're taking action, visualize all you want. But if all you're doing is just sitting there like visualizing what you want and you just think it's magically going to happen without actually doing anything. I don't think that's how it works, you know? I think you actually got to be putting the work in. But yeah, if you visualize, maybe write down like what it is that you want, it's way more likely that it will happen. And I think that makes sense, right? Even outside of a spiritual realm, I feel like even logically that makes sense. Like, how can you reach a goal or get something you want if you don't even know what you want? You know what I mean? Nice. Yeah, see, this is why I got to stream more. I like having these conversations with you guys. It's always very interesting. And it's a great way for me to articulate my thoughts as well. You still have your own ecom store or just an agency now? Yeah, I do. So my trifecta right now, it's my ecosystem. My ecosystem is Ecom, which is my agency slash holding company, I would say. It's not actually a holding company right now, but in the future it will be once we invest in companies as well. Right now it's just an agency, but then, we service 8-figure brands. We work with them. It's super fun. It's awesome. But then we do a lot of research, right? We're always doing a lot of research for many different reasons, to always stay on top of the game, to always have relevant information to help our clients stay on top of their, on their toes, basically. And more or less the agency acts as an advisory board as well. So, and part of that is doing a lot of research. So then we created the research community at Chemi Lab. That's where we literally publish a bunch of research and daily. I mean, that's what we're doing here, right? Like, we're putting up a bunch of research on ads, like different relevant things that are going to help businesses, right? Some AI stuff, right? Like just all different sorts of things. And I was like, yeah, let's just create a product out of that, right? Because I want a community for myself. So that's that. And that, then we use profits from both of those things to build e-commerce brands. So we're working on an e-commerce brand now. Basically, the challenge store that I started for the channel, I wanted to be a brand. Like, I actually thought about it deeper, and I thought about an idea that I had years ago, but I never actually went through with it. I didn't have the cash flow at the time, and I was just, I don't know, I guess I just didn't really think it could be done. But now I'm at a point where we do have cash flow, so I want to make it happen. So we have an e-commerce store, a couple e-commerce stores, the agency, and then our research community. And that's it. That's the whole ecosystem. And it all feeds into each other because really the brand is sort of an experimental brand. So whatever we learn from it, we can publish in the research community and utilize whatever we learn in the research community and the agency to use in our store. So it all feeds into each other, and that's what I mean by ecosystem. And that's what I'm going to be working on for the foreseeable future. I don't want anything else. I don't want to talk about a software. I don't want to talk about an NFT. I don't want to talk about a trade, a meme coin. Okay, I did talk about those things, but yeah, this is the ideal ecosystem for me, and it's super fun to work on. So that's why I know it's the right plan. And it's a plan I've had for a long time. I just didn't actually pull through with it. And I don't expect it to just like magically print $10 million out of thin air. But I do think over time, as I continue to work on this, we'll make a lot of money because it's pretty simple. And simple is smooth. And smooth is fast. That's a great quote I heard. How important do you think emails are? I think emails are undervalued, especially for e-commerce stores, because I mean, we all know well, maybe not all of us, but I think something I've learned a lot about through studying all these different businesses, right? Because a lot of what I do is studying a lot of businesses, not just e-commerce businesses, because what I find is that in e-commerce, there's a lot of like echo chambers in terms of like marketing strategies. But in other business models, people are doing things in a really clever way. Like, for example, there are businesses out there that don't sell any physical products. It's just a newsletter. Like, it's just an email newsletter, and they make 100K a month profit, for example, just writing newsletters, selling advertising in those newsletters and affiliate things. I think that's amazing, right? So why are more e-commerce businesses not building a newsletter and, just promoting their own products in it? I don't know. Maybe they just haven't really thought about it too much. They don't want to put the resources into it for whatever reason. I think it's super undervalued. I think if you build a newsletter for your e-commerce brand or software, whatever it is you're building, you're creating an owned audience. And I just think people don't really understand that, how valuable an owned audience is. I didn't understand that until really this year, to be honest with you. I haven't been building a newsletter up until now. And, I feel like I missed out on a lot of
chat GPT.
But there is a newsletter now that we have, so you guys should go check it out. It's right here. I mean, it's nothing fancy now. Like, it's really, really simple. But we send out a newsletter every Thursday, and it's packed with information. It's literally just value. And every Thursday, so we're not spamming you or anything. It's really good. I suggest you check it out. I actually subscribe to a lot of newsletters myself, and every morning in my email, I read them. Like, for example, the Crunchbase one. I get emails from Crunchbase on different types of companies, different unicorn companies that are out there. Just interesting things that I think are relevant. Crazy how it's been almost 5 years since your course release in like August 2018. It has been a very long journey, but at the same time, it really hasn't been that long at all. If you think about it, people go to school for like 5 years. So I really do truly feel like I'm just now graduating from school, right? And now I feel like I understand so much more about business than I did back then when I first launched that. And it's great. I feel really good about it. Let me think here. Arbcoin. Yeah, bro, Arbcoin, I sold it. I sold it at a good time. I got it for free though. I didn't buy it or anything. Okay, so what video shall we watch?
All right, so I'm going to make this quick, super fast, because I know I got like 5 seconds before you think I'm some make money online scammer. I know you clicked on the title of the headline and you're like already thinking, what did I get myself into? What type of lubed up nonsense is this guy going to try and cram up my bun before he sells me a course? Don't worry, that's not going to happen. This video is actually going to do exactly what the title said. I am going to show you how, as a beginner, to go from $0 to $10 million per year in the span of 10 years. And I think you can consistently do it if you have any form of IQ in that head of yours. Look,
nice. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I like that 10-year mark there. Because I feel like I'm at year 5 right now, like you just said. I feel like I'm at year like 6, let's say. But you guys probably are not at year 6, so you don't really know the power of long-term thinking yet, but I'm excited to see this. So let's continue to watch here.
If you're some Arby's backstage worker who's picking your nose and eating boogers at home while playing some hentai game in your mom's basement, I can't help you. But for all of you that have a decent IQ, a good work ethic, and really want to change your lives financially and be successful, one of those guys that can pay for dinner and drive those fancy cars, this video, without a doubt, I can almost guarantee is going to be your best shot at making lots of money in the next 10 years of your life. How can I say that? How can I back that up? What is this guy in a Magic Mike strip club with a gimp dummy? That's for
Yo, I like the new setup, by the way. This is clean. He's got a little jiu-jitsu mat right there.
Jiu-jitsu training.
Nice.
I don't it at all. I promise you. What can this guy teach me? How can he show me this? But I can say that with confidence because I started my entrepreneurship journey as a complete beginner at 22 years old. At 35 years old, I have a net worth of hundreds of millions of dollars. I make tens of millions of dollars per year, and I did that in about...
This guy's a real top G, let's be honest. Alex Becker has finessed the entrepreneur game. It's pretty cool to see, honestly.
12 to 13 years. And I did this from being an absolute beginner, taking zero investors, never taking huge, massive financial risk. And most of my first businesses didn't require much cash or any cash at all. So this is perfect for you if you're just starting off or mid-tier, or heck, if you just want to follow my journey because you're a fanboy. I don't blame you. Look at me. Golden God. No wonder you're here. So if we can subtract the fact that I'm an absolute idiot and you can avoid all the mistakes I made, yes, I think you could actually do it faster than me, and I'm going to break it down in this video.
Oh.
Why? Because it's Monday, and I'm done with my work, and I'm bored. I have nothing to sell you. I don't even have the energy or willpower to sell you something, because then I'd have to deal with you, and I'd owe you something. So I'm just going to give this to you, because I hate seeing men fail to achieve their goals and be pathetic little incels their entire life. It's annoying. It's pathetic. You don't need to be like this. If I can just get the beer bottle out of your mouth, stop you from eating donuts, and teach you how to build a sustainable business, I think I can make a good impact on the world. And that's what we're going to do right now, so I show you how to build these businesses to infinite money. All right, so look, kids, let's gather around the whiteboard.
Yeah, let's make infinite money.
This down. And also, if you want this broken down in like a written context and broken down in steps you can actually come back to and follow me on Twitter at ZSSBecker. Not only do I do that, I reveal almost every business tip and lesson I've ever learned on my Twitter at ZSSBecker. So it's great.
By the way, guys, I kind of want to join Neo Tokyo. I feel like that would be a good buy for networking opportunities, for just many different reasons. But I think it's a cool community. Probably. I don't know. I'm not in it. But if any of you are, let me know how it is.
Great to follow me there, because I don't always have time to make videos. So follow me there. Let's get to this. What are the levels we want to get to in business? We want to get from 0 to, let's say, 100K a year. All right. Then we want to get to from 100K a year to 1 mil.
Mm-hmm.
Then we want to get from 1 mil to 5 mil. And then we
These
want
are
to
the
get
levels.
to 5 mil to 10, 20. Let's just set a goal right here. Okay. At this point right
I
here,
like that. I
you're
like
worth
that.
$100 million net worth wise. I've done my job, and you have gotten more than enough reward for the 8 minutes you spent watching this YouTube video. And by the way, if you don't have 8 minutes to watch this and you want to go build successful businesses, maybe you should work on your discipline a little bit, because if you can't watch me just explain everything I've ever done for free for a couple minutes, just get back to your Arby's job. It's not cut out for you, all right?
True.
TikTok boys, I tell you. So for all the men remaining and watching this channel that have resisted the urge to jump
we're all
onto
men.
TikTok and watch, I don't know, Taylor Swift
I actually think there's probably a few women in this chat right now that are just shy, which I understand, because 85% of the people here are probably men. But this is awesome so far. I'm very excited to see how he breaks this down, and I hope that you guys are paying attention as well. You know, you should always be learning. I feel like that's a good piece of advice. I also don't know anything, but you know, that's gotten me somewhere, just continuously learning. And now I can learn while I farm content at the same time. So yes, that is a 200 IQ play. But no, I don't have a 200 IQ. I just do stuff. Let's continue here.
Children. For the men that are still here, let's talk about this. So 0 to 100K. What is our situation right here? We don't have any money, and we don't have any skills, and we have no experience in business. So you don't need to go and start a business like Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos. What you need to do is you need to focus on acquiring knowledge or skills and in selling those skills. So what are some things you should focus on? I think primarily, if you are a talentless F right now, you should focus on freelancing. Now, what is freelancing? Go and learn something that's in demand. So
you can also consider that like an agency model, is, you know, learning a skill and doing it for other businesses. Freelancing or agency.
For example, when I first got started, I learned SEO. Then I did it for businesses and people, and I just basically sell my services and market to people. Why is this awesome? It teaches you the basic of sales and gives you a basic skill set that you can sell to people and how to learn. This is all you should do. You can learn almost any skill set online for free that you can then start selling to people. And with AI popping up right now, there is limitless amount of things that you can learn how to do and then sell to people.
That's
I encourage
a great
you
point.
to browse around YouTube and look at some of the best ways for beginners to make money. But what you should not focus on is raising money and building some big business. Find a skill that people will pay you for and then do it. For example, running people's
simple.
paid advertising. If you can get a few...
Whoa, this guy is talking to me right now. I will say that was the probably easiest 100K a year business I've ever built has been an agency. It's I mean, I've already built a personal brand, I guess, so it was even easier. But just, he's right. Just finding a service that people are already going to pay for and just trying to put yourself in that, being that person that's going to sell that service, it's actually a hack in a way. But it's not easy, obviously. You still got to put in work. But this will teach you a skill. And media buying, in my opinion, that's my skill. I'm a media buying main. I think it's modern day alchemy to be able to spend $1 and get $3 back. It's a pretty cool skill to learn.
Few people to pay you $500,000 a month, and you can start moving to the next level. If you can't do that, you have no business looking at any other business model. Don't go franchise McDonald's, you stupid idiot. Get someone to pay you to do manual labor. You are selling your time. You are a manual laborer. Now, another hack you could do is learn code, but I don't think this is a good one. Someone brought this up on Twitter the other day at CSS Becker.
Oh, that's
Code is great because you can build a software and then you can sell it to people. But the thing is, you really don't know how to run a business, and you don't know how to deal with clients. You don't know how to deal with customers. I really think doing code or selling code or developing products for people is a better way to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, what about freelance coding? Because I will say, like he mentioned himself with ChatGPT, I don't know how to code, but I know that it's made coders' lives a lot easier, a lot more enjoyable. So doing freelance coding, because coding is still seen as like a really difficult skill to learn, which it probably is. I don't know how to code, like I said. But freelancing and code, you can mix the two and do pretty well.
Like, they tell you what and you make it for them, or you hire a team or whatnot, which we'll get into in a second. So freelancing, sell your time. Gain skills, sell your time. You are a manual laborer at this point. You can get to 100K a year doing this, easy peasy, lemon cheesy. I got to 100K a year doing this back when money actually counted for money before all this inflation stuff. You can too. 0 or 100K to $1 million. Now you got some money coming in. Now you got an apartment. You don't have to go and chase rats on the street for food. Okay.
You first got to survive.
So
that's
you
facts.
got 100K. You big man, you. Now, before we go and buy bottle service, let's get to $1 million with this, which is relatively easy to do. Everybody rolls their eyes. It is. How do we do this? It's really easy. First, you have a little bit of money rolling around. You have money coming in. So you can actually say, all right, let's build a business and let's invest just a tiny amount. Not our whole entire savings, but let's say 10K. You can take 10K from that 100K a year you're making, $1,000 a month going in, invest it in some business or whatnot. But what we're going to do instead is we want to sell other people's time. We just want to go one layer up. So, for example, we were selling, I'm going to use the term SEO.
This is what leverage is all
that's
about.
what I did when I started out. SEO is not the best thing to sell anymore. All right, you could sell AI services. You could build chatbot AIs for people. You could go and make advertisement images for people. You could make logos. I don't know. With AI, you can do anything as a skillless, talentless idiot right now. So you're really lucky. I actually had to learn and develop a skill. But once you've developed that skill, what you want to do is you train other people to do it. Okay, and then you exclusively focus on selling their time. Okay, this is a clock. You sell this thing, okay, which also looks like a boobie. But what you want to do is you gather a bunch of people and say, hey, look, you Goombas, what we're going to do is you're going to learn how to do this thing. I'm going to teach you how to do it. Or you find somebody who already knows how to do it, but is just terrible at selling. You then go and sell their time. You do the same exact thing you were doing before, but now it's not attached to your time. You have scale. Because now when you sell something,
now you have some extra leverage, the labor of someone else, and then you can focus on just selling the business or selling to businesses to get more clients. That's true.
it takes none of your time. So you can just sell. So all you have to do is go and just quickly and easily start going and selling what you were doing before to the same people, but in a little bit more aggressive, smarter way. Maybe you start running ads. Maybe you actually start practicing lead gen and some types of marketing. And so at this point, what's going to happen? You've separated yourself, your time out of the equation, and now you're focusing on scalable skills, marketing, sales, growing a business without your actual time involvement. You're just going to be managing the people. This is going to teach you how to actually be an entrepreneur. And until you can get to $1 million a year doing this, you're really not ready for the next level. It's like you're in jiu-jitsu, for example. You know, if I'm a white belt and I can't successfully escape a pin, I'm really not worthy or actually in a position where I need to be looking to go to blue belt, which is where you actually know what you're doing. Going from 100K to
like
$1 million is
jiu-jitsu
basically kind of a blue belt
analogy.
in business. That's like the second layer. And once you get to $1 million a year, you've pretty much made it. In between there, you're doing really well the entire way through. Unless you're living in New York City, this will get you enough to live in a studio apartment with 3 other sweaty men. I don't know why you live there if you do, but you know, invite the gimp in the background. Next step, how do we do this? From $1 million to $5 million a year. This is the big hurdle. This is where most people fail. Most people do not get past this point. 1 mil to 5 mil. So what a lot of people do when they get to, what the heck is this writing? What a lot of people do when they get to 1 to SNIL. Anyways though, the $1 to $5 million a year mark.
It doesn't take good writing to get to 100 mil. This is evidence.
The reason why people get stuck here is they make that first $1 million a year and then they just keep trying to do that thing over and over and over again. What you need to realize when you start businesses is your first business really shouldn't last that long. It should last maybe 6 months, a year. Next business, kind of the same thing. Why? Because you were an idiot when you made those businesses. You had no idea what you're doing. You're doing training wheel cash flow businesses. This is not advanced.
That reminds me of my first successful ecom store, and the first course that I also sold is I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm glad those didn't last too long, I will say.
Stuff, okay? This is not going to get you in the NBA if you were playing basketball. You're playing in the Pee-wees and you're slam dunking on children. That's what you're doing. That's fine. Now we want to go up a league. So what people do at this level is they don't break out of what they're doing and they keep trying to scale what they're already doing, but it doesn't scale because what happens when you have these business models that are easy to cash flow, when you get to about $1 million per year, everybody goes, he's making money, I'm going to do that too. And at about $1 million per year, you really hit trouble because it gets overly competitive.
Yeah, everybody tries to copy you. This is something that people don't understand that watch my videos, and they say, Ari, well, why don't you just show me your store? Nice try, buddy, but I'm not going to show any of you my store because I already know how that goes. I've actually had that happen to me multiple times where people will just rip everything off. And not just that, they won't just rip you off. They'll also try to sabotage you back, like as if they were the ones that came up with that idea. It's terrible. It's happened to me. I remember when I first started my channel and popped off because of this Trend Cove series. A lot of you guys know about it. I built an entire business to $30K a month live, showing the ads, showing everything, because I was so naive thinking that people are just going to enjoy this. They don't want to have jeopardize this series. They want to see me build this business and learn. Well, I was completely wrong. People will try to jeopardize your business and they will try to take it from you. This game of entrepreneurship is PvP. It really is. I mean, there are moments where you collaborate, sure. Like, you know, where you kind of join a party and it's kind of like a raid up against another boss, let's say. But most of the time, it's straight up PvP, and people will try to take everything from you if they can to just get ahead. And I learned that the hard way. You'll probably have to learn that the hard way as well. But let's continue.
So it's really easy to get to about $1,500,000 per year, but anywhere around those parts, it's really hard to get past that because you need a lot of momentum. You have customers churning. Just take my word on. And when you get to this point and you're feeling stuck, this is why it's happening. So at $1 million per year, what you need to focus on is highly scalable businesses that don't have anything to do with anybody's time, because selling people's time is annoying. So what businesses are these? And they need to focus on cash flow while investing a little bit of money, because when you have $1 million per year coming in, you can drop $100,000, $200,000 on this business. You can. I don't want to do that. Okay, great. You're going to make $1 million per year for the rest of your life. That's cool. Not as cool as making $10, $20 million a year. You're not going to be famous on Instagram and on yachts. You're just going to be pretty successful. And then by the time inflation kicks in even more, you'll be making as much as a McDonald's employee, but whatever. Anyways, what is going to go on here is there's a few business models you want to look at, which is going to be info marketing, which is selling information, e-commerce, and small scale software. So what we're going to do is we're going to build these types of businesses. Another really good example is a service-based business where you have people and they do a really intricate service. This is harder to do, but it can work. For example, Alex Hormozi's gym launch, he'd bring people in with information, he'd sell them information and he'd get them to events, and then they'd run services that would help people set up and run their gym businesses. Then on
this
the back
is a great video. Like, I think this is an undervalued video probably for those of you watching, because he went over the 100K part a bit quickly. But this is very helpful, I will say, because sometimes as an entrepreneur, since there's no real guidance, right? I mean, obviously there's a million gurus guiding you, but that's not real guidance because ultimately you got to do it for yourself. There's so many points that just low points, let's say, that just make you overthink everything about what you're doing. Literally every single step that you're doing, you're like, man, this isn't the right way. Or maybe if I do this and use this to do that and then do that and this and that, and it just becomes a big mess, a big old mess. But making things simple like this, I think, is a really good idea. So, hopefully you guys are trying to take this and apply it to your journey and simplifying your goals and your plan to make it easy to follow, I think.
Sell software, supplements to them, all sorts of services on top of the information. So this works really well as well. It's something you can also look at. And by the time you're making about $1 million per year, you'll be able to grasp the concept. This might be foreign to you now, but by the time you're there, it will not be.
Whoa, what up, Blake?
These are all businesses that can scale without you being there. If you make a small little e-commerce product, let's say you're selling like little training knives or something like that. It doesn't cost much to make the product. You sell it and you run ads to it on Facebook. Info marketing. Let's say you start doing what all the people on YouTube are doing. Why do they do this? Because it's a high cash flow, minimal investment business model that anyone can do. Sell info marketing. Learn how to sell something. Learn how to get the marketing in and transfer the stuff that you learned from your other business, the one before, that marketing, into this and start selling info products. You're going to learn how to put yourself out on YouTube, run advertising. The same thing with e-commerce as well. And then finally, you can also...
I will say, I think people, for some reason, don't use these like marketing tactics that work for high ticket, let's say, info products to e-commerce businesses. For some reason, there's only one person I know that is actually being very creative with their e-com stores marketing, which is the mini katana guy. He is all in on YouTube for the katana store. And I'm not talking about YouTube ads. I'm talking about literally content creation. And it's just interesting that more people don't do that. That's what I was talking about earlier about, for example, how there's newsletter businesses that are totally separate from e-commerce, but there's so many things that you can learn from a business model like that and apply it to your business model, like e-commerce, that will just make your business so much more innovative, and it will give you a marketing edge over everyone else. It's just, I don't know. It sounds simple, and it kind of is. Like, just study what other people are doing to acquire customers and build a huge business, even if it's not in your industry, and like apply it to your industry.
Also go for lower level software. What do I mean by lower level software? I mean like Chrome extensions, Shopify plugins. You can hire a developer, pay them, and then you start using paid traffic and a little bit of marketing to sell your software. Each of these things right here will...
I think that's probably the next step in my evolution, but I don't even want to get sidetracked from what I'm doing right now. Like I was saying earlier, I don't want to hear it, but I think that would be a good idea for me in the future.
Require you to invest. Info and e-commerce require ads and a little bit of investment up front to get any of them going. You're going to have to get a camera, start marketing, get on YouTube, whatever, e-commerce, initial products, whatever software you're going to have to learn how to hire developers. You're probably not going to do too well at these things your first year. That's fine. You're going to learn so much more than the people that are stuck in their comfort zone at $1 million per year. Within about a year's time, you're going to know what you're doing and you'll be making money. And these things right here, you can scale to $5 million per year because they don't require anybody's time. As soon as you get it, as soon as you understand the ads, as soon as you understand the product creation, which is going to take time, like you just got to your blue belt, you're trying to get to your purple belt. What you need to know how to do is you need to master the business from the blue belt to the purple belt. You don't just go to it. You don't just roll on the mats, start rolling around and be like, I'm a purple belt now. No, you're going to need to practice a few damn years at it before you get it, and it's easy. But if you keep doing it and you keep at it, in a few years, making $5 million per year will be in your reach, and you can go for it.
I like the jiu-jitsu analogy because I've been doing jiu-jitsu lately, and I'm definitely a noob. I'm a white belt, obviously, because you start out as a white belt. But funny enough, my goal is to get to a purple belt. Obviously, it's going to take like 5 years, like he's saying. It's going to take a long time, and I know that. But I think purple belts are a cool color. And funny enough, my goal is also to get to the purple belt in business. So I see a lot of interesting synergies there. It's weird.
Now you're in the big leagues. All right, now you got a purple belt, brown belt area. How do we get our black belt? Let's go $10 million per year. And that's actually really not even a black belt
Yeah.
in business. It's not even like the top tier.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's
It's not even,
probably more like a brown belt or whatever in business because that's the crazy part. It's just there's people out like there's so much money in the world. There's people making $1 billion a year that you just would never you'll never know about them and they're probably just like you and me. But yeah, they've just been in business for longer maybe or they just found some opportunity that they haven't shared with anyone and they're just killing it. Like even beyond what Alex Becker has done, which is crazy. It's pretty cool.
even like once you get to like $10 million here, then there's like infinite tiers past that. So how do we get to 5 mil to infinite? And this is the thing that's not going to apply to most
5
people
mil
watching
to
this video,
infinite.
and that's fine. This is something we want to go for in a 10-year period. For example, in jiu-jitsu, and by the way, I'm just using it because it's a really good analogy. I'm not some expert jiu-jitsu fighter or anything like that. We can use karate if you want. But getting a black belt on any martial art takes like 10 years on average, or maybe. I don't know. Someone's going to correct me in the comments like, I get it in 6 years. I am a man. Okay. Back to Arby's with you. So, 5 to 20.
The Arby's analogy.
There is one big
just
change from
kills me.
5 to 20. You stop trying to make money. So in every business before this, why people get stuck at $5 million per year is the same reason they get stuck at $1 million per year. They misunderstand the game. They don't understand the next level of the game. At $5 million per year, it's not important to get paid. You're making $5 million a year from one business, whatever. It should be cash flowing. You should be at like a 70% profit margin or something like that. Because the goal is cash. You're being a short-sighted bimbo who has no focus on valuations or long-term anything. You're just trying to bathe in money like Scrooge McDuck. Cool, that's fine. And congratulations. If you've done that within 3 to 5 years of business, that's a huge accomplishment.
Many people actually, once you guys, I mean, everybody here is more like ecom, knowledge, ecom business. But once you start learning and stepping away a little bit from ecom and agencies and you start learning about, venture capitalists and, angel investors and things like that, you'll start realizing how little these companies profit. And I think he's so right that actually let's just focus on making as much cash in the bank as possible as opposed to just trying to grow for the sake of growth without actually making any money in the process. I think it's good. I like that I study a lot of these venture capitalist things, but I'm also very wary of that world and just how it's almost just like a beauty pageant. It's like it's not really about who's making actual cash in the bank. It's just about who looks like they're making a lot of money. And it's weird, but let's continue here.
You start at 20 years old, 25 years old, you're making that kind of money. Fantastic, Scrooge McDuck. Now we want to actually evolve from being a duck in a pool of money and actually evolve into a grown man who makes a lot of money. So how do we do this? From 5 to 20 and past this, it's not about making money at all. It's about ownership. So for example, if I can build a software company, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and invest all my money. So one of the reasons why I was really successful is when I was making $4 million a year, I said, screw it. I'm going to invest in everything. I'm going to make myself impenetrable. And I got an apartment with no furniture, a mattress on the floor. And I went back to
Do you speak Spanish, Ari? Sí, hablo español. Es mi primer idioma. That means it's my first language for those of you that don't speak Spanish. Yes, that's a little flex. It actually is my first language, though. A lot of people don't know that about me.
no cost of living whatsoever. And I was unbeatable because I had no hard living costs. And I could just invest as much money as I wanted to in my software company. No, I didn't have to invest $5 million per year. All right, I probably had to invest like 100, 200K a month into it, starting off building it. But you
Sorry,
want to go
I got to rewind this for a second.
I
I kind of missed
cost
that.
of living whatsoever. And I was unbeatable, impenetrable. And I got an apartment with no furniture, a mattress on the floor. And I went back to no cost of living whatsoever. And I was unbeatable because I had no hard living costs. And I could just invest as much money as I wanted to in my software company. No, I didn't have to invest $5 million per year. All right, I probably had to invest like 100, 200K a month into it, starting off building it. But you want to go for big swing businesses.
Keep in mind, when he mentions investing in the business, I think he's also mentioning ad spend. I'm pretty sure that he's mentioning ad spend in that, which again, I think Alex Becker is something you probably don't know about him because he's mostly known about crypto these days. Is that this man is also a media buying main. This guy understands meta ads better than you do. And this has been a huge reason why he's been so successful. I mean, even if you look at High Rose now, his $100 million company, they probably spend millions on ads, like probably a million a month on ads. Okay, maybe not a million a month, but probably like 500K a month on ads. And I think that's what he's also considering as part of the investment. Obviously, that also probably is developers and shit. I don't know what else goes into that business, but ads is definitely a huge component in that. So very, very interesting. And somebody asked, Ari, will the stream stay uploaded? Of course. All the VODs of the streams are always uploaded on the channel. And YouTube is amazing now because they have nice little organizations for each channel. So you can have my latest videos, my YouTube shorts, and my live streams all in their own individual sections. So you can also go watch the old live streams.
And at $5 million per year, you're going to know what big swing businesses are. I don't have to break it down to you in this video. You know how to fight. You got your purple belt. You know how to get in the ring. It's up to you to actually start using creativity. I'm not going to sit here and spoon feed you Play-Doh and burp you and pat you on the back and carry you. This is you're in the big leagues now. You want to go for big businesses, and what you want to focus on is ownership valuation. So for example, if I build something like, when I build software companies, what I'm going to try and do is if I can get that software company to $1 million or $100,000 a month in revenue, that company is then worth about $10 million. So if I have like, let's say.
What? If you get. Okay, hold on. I got to listen to that again. That doesn't sound right.
What I'm going to try and do is if I can get that software company to $1 million or $100,000 a month in revenue.
$100,000 a month software business is worth $10 million? I'm in the wrong business.
That company is then worth about $10 million. So if I have like, let's say 90% ownership of that, and I did that 0 to 100K in a month, which is relatively not that hard for me to do, I just increased my net worth by $10 million. My share value almost in that company is $9 to $10 million. So then if I go and scale that without making a single dollar, and I take that to 500K per month, I scaled up to that level right there. With the valuation and the uptrend right there, that's probably going to be about a 10x on the money that's being made right there. So I'm going to go and add about $50 million in share value to myself while still not making any money. So what you have to understand is the easiest way to grow a company is to just reinvest in it. And then you have share value. When you reinvest in it, the company revenue starts to skyrocket because you're not taking home any money, you're putting it all back in the company. The company valuation starts to skyrocket, but you own most of the company and people want that share value. They want that ownership. So then what you can do, let's say I get a company to, I don't know, $500,000 a month in a year and a half, 2 years even. I can then sell 10% of the company for $5 million. I can sell 20% of it for $10 million, so on and so forth. I get that to $1 million per month. If the niche is right, if the churn and the numbers all add up, you're not always going to get these multiples. I have a $100 million company.
That's fair.
And people will pay me based on that share value. If I'm in the right industry, I could have a $200 million company by share value. Okay, 2 years, I go and I then sell my shares, 10% of it, for $10 and $20 million. Heck, I could just get an offer and make $200 million clean like that.
My God. This is actually super eye-opening right here. That's wild. So that's how he built this $100 million company. So somebody asked, what was his $100 million company? It's called High Rose. It's literally just an ad tracking company. So after the pandemic, after iOS 14 on Meta, tracking became sort of a nightmare. And basically because of Apple's privacy concerns and the way that they changed how people view ads, whatever. And it was perfect timing for his business. So yes, Alex Becker is a genius with his timing. And he created this business called High Rose that allowed you to track your ads better. That's literally it. And just spent a shit ton of money on ads, blew it up to an insane level, like over $1 million a month. And Then he sold it for 100 million. Pretty insane. That is just wild. Somebody asked me if I broke up with my girlfriend. Hell no. Are you crazy?
Which is how I view business right now. I'm not going to try and make money. What I'm going to try to do is build up share value and get the right numbers so that I can either exit the company or take the company public in some way and have value and liquidity for my share value. And those are the things I'm going to look at. And so I can go out there and if I apply the strategy correctly, make 20, 50, $100 million per year in net worth value via share value. That's how you go and play the big game. You don't ever even try to make money because you already have money in the bank. And if you invest all the money you've made this entire time, let's say you're making $5 million a year, you're taking home 3, 4, whatever, put that in the bank, you have that invested, you're making 5, 6% on it, maybe if you're a bigwig making 8%, that will pay for your entire lifestyle. You have no need for money, so you need to play the share game. And that is how you go from an absolute beginner. And the key concepts you have to
Hold on, I want to listen to that again.
make 20, 50, 100 company public in some way and have value and liquidity, which is how I view business right now. I'm not going to try and make money. What I'm going to try to do is build up share value and get the right numbers so that I can either exit the company or take the company public in some way and have value and liquidity for my share value. And those are the things I'm going to look at. And so I can go out there and if I apply the strategy correctly, make 20, 50, $100 million per year in net worth value via share value. That's how you go and play the big game. You don't ever even try to make money because you already have money in the bank. And if you invest all the money you've made this entire time, let's say you're making $5 million a year, you're taking home 3, 4, whatever, put that in the bank, you have that invested, you're making 5, 6% on it, maybe if you're a bigwig making 8%, that will pay for your entire lifestyle. You have no need for money, so you need to play the share game. And that is how you go from an absolute beginner. And the key concepts you have to understand at each level from 0 to 10, $20 million a year net worth of 9 figures. That is how I did it. And if I'd understand those things, the things I just shared with you right now, I don't even think it would have taken me 10 years. I think I could have done it in 5 years. The thing that messed me up is I didn't recognize the levels that I was at and the games I was playing at each level. And so I got stuck at each level a lot longer than I should have. And it took massive moves and massive breakthroughs that I had to stumble through to discover those things, which I just gave to you in this video because I'm bored on a Monday. So if you enjoyed this video, follow me on Twitter at CSS Becker. My ego is weirdly attached to my follow count. It's my weakness.
That's some
really
good self-awareness.
If you just go and subscribe there. And to incentivize you, I have written versions of what I just broke down. I've written versions of a lot of my other videos, my sleep routines, everything I do in business. I share tips and everything I'm doing on there all the time. And it's much more rapid information than this YouTube because making these videos is a pain. I can only do like 2 vids a week max. So follow me on Twitter, subscribe. This video is longer than I wanted it to, so I'm just going to...
That's so good. Oh, man. What a goat. Learned a lot in that one, not going to lie. That was really, really inspiring, I will say. Incredible. Was he the first to create an ad tracking software? I don't think he was the first to create an ad tracking software by any stretch of the imagination. But I think he was the one that was able to scale it the fastest. And that's what matters, you know? That's why scaling fast is actually a really good idea. Okay.
Today, I'm interviewing one of the...
So, let's see. What's next? Maybe a Hormozy video. These are a little shorter, a little more attention grabbing because this guy has editors that know how to keep your attention if you're addicted to TikTok. So let's check it out. Let's do this one though, actually. I kind of want to know how he sets his goals. Let's see.
A lot of literature and videos and blog posts talk about setting goals. And
bro, what is going on with my computer right now?
I hate almost all of them. What I'm going to walk you through is our 4-step goal setting process, and I promise you, it's
four-step goal setting
not
process.
what you have seen in the past from basically any other company. Because
this is another $100 million guy here, so you know we'll see the different philosophies. Though I would imagine they're probably pretty similar.
I actually didn't take how we set goals from any business books. I actually took it from a science book. Number one is, what problem are we solving? A lot of times you realize that you're not solving a problem at all, which means you probably don't need to do it. This is especially true the lower in the organization it goes, because people who are lower down in the org tend to not be as connected to the overarching picture of the company. Simple example, most goals have to be chunked up to one of three things. Number one, they're going to help us get more customers. Number two is that it's going to help us make customers worth more. And number three, it's going to increase the enterprise value of the company. If you can't articulate
the enterprise value of the company, that's what Becker was talking about with shareholder value.
The goal is going to do that, then you shouldn't do it. So number one, pick what problem you're actually trying to solve. Simple example, if IT decreases the page load times on all of our sites, we will get more leads. We get more leads, we get more customers, etc. If IT improves the sign-on process for customers to have access to something, that will mean we have fewer customers churn, which means we will make customers more valuable. If you can't tie how your department and the function that you have either gets us more customers, makes them worth more, increases the enterprise value of the business, means you don't understand your job. And if you're the entrepreneur or the head of the department, you don't know how you're actually providing value to the business. Breaking that down is the first and most important part of goal setting. If this process actually makes you think, then it means you're doing it right. Because if you can just knock out your goals really, really fast, it probably means you haven't thought through them well enough. Number two, we create a hypothesis. And the reason for that is when you set a
here's another simple example of a problem I'm solving right now. I want to watch these entrepreneur videos. I want to make content. I want to save time. I stream and I react to all these videos I want to watch.
goal, usually it's like, we want to do this thing, right? Well, you're not actually trying to do the thing. You're hoping that something's going to happen if you do the thing. We like to define both of those variables in the hypothesis. For example, if I wanted to have a sales goal, it might say something like, if I decrease the time to call leads from 30 minutes to 5 minutes, we will get a higher percentage of leads to book calls. That's literally the hardest part of this whole thing, is what is the hypothesis that you're trying to test? Because whenever we actually do something in the business, we're not guaranteeing the outcome, and we're not guaranteed from the business that it's going to create the result we want. I'm sure you've tried plenty of things that have been goals and it didn't result in the thing that you wanted, which is why you shouldn't state it as a goal necessarily, but as a hypothesis of what you think will happen. Once you have the what problem are we solving and your hypothesis of how you're going to solve it, then you only have two variables that you have to determine. One is, what's the thing I'm going to do, which is the activity, that's the input, and then what do I think is going to happen, which is the output. Number 3, what are we going to do? We are going to call leads within 5 minutes, right? That is the input. We check that box, great. Output is, we will get a higher percentage of leads to schedule or show. So you'd have your baseline of the input, which is today we're at 37 minutes, and we want to be at 5. That's the input change. The output change is going to be, we go from 50% scheduled to 70% scheduled. That's the output change. That is a goal. That is what we call the before phase. The after phase only has 2 columns, and that's what you review after the quarter is done or the year is over. Number 4, what do we think is going to happen? You say, okay, did I do the thing? Did I do the input? Did we actually decrease the call time to 5 minutes? If we did, then that's a green. And here's where this is important. We may have decreased the call time to under 5 minutes, but we may not have increased the scheduling at all. That's why it's a hypothesis. Now, did what I wanted to have happen actually happen? And then that is where you can put...
Yeah, I gotta say, I might sound crazy, but for some reason, I actually like Alex Becker's style of videos better, where it's like just him talking. This is like too fast. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? This is maybe I'm alone in this, but I don't know. It's almost harder to focus because of how fast this all is.
Put commentary in. So what we ended up doing is we ended up getting it down to 7 minutes, and it didn't improve it at all. At this point, we don't need to get it down to 5 because we didn't have any directional improvement. It takes a lot of 0 to 1, a lot of shiny object, a lot of new things, a lot of trial and error, a lot of iterate until something clicks in the beginning. But big businesses often grow by a series of 1% improvements. 1%, 1%, 1%.
True.
Because you've seen the Excel math when you're like, well, if I only got 10% more people to opt in, and I got 15% more people to schedule, and I got 20% more people to show, and I closed one from 25% to 35%. You add all this together, and all of a sudden, you tripled the business. And the thing is that everyone gets so distracted with like I'm gonna reinvent the wheel, rather than just making the wheel a little smoother so it runs faster. And so a lot of times, especially in the 5,
That's
10,
a good
15,
analogy.
$20 million top line range, that's some of the systems we have to put in place, because that's how the big boys play. They beat you because they actually can do 100 tiny increments. I think Gym Launch grew 40% last year, and we did nothing new. All we did was we did everything we were currently doing a little bit better. If you do that year after year after year, you become very hard to beat, because people will see your marketing on the outside. They'll try and copy your pages, they'll try and copy your emails, and one, it won't be you, so it won't matter because it's not your story. But they don't know all the internal standard operating procedures, the internal metrics that you guys are tracking that actually create the growth in the company. And a lot of times in the early business, just measuring metrics may be the important goal for the quarter so that you can then improve it. Let's say you're a videographer in a marketing department, right? Each of these goals should start from the top down. So if we say these are our 5 goals as a company, the department heads are going to probably have multiple activities to make the first hypothesis true or not. I like to have everybody as far down in the organization do this, because it actually causes you to think about why you do what you do. A lot of times employees lose motivation because they don't know how what they do every day ties into the bigger picture of how the company grows and makes more money. With a videographer, for example, they're like, well, what do I do? Like, what problem am I solving? The problem is get more customers. They might not think about it that way, but
That's a really great way to put it. I think Hormozi's a great systems type thinker. He obviously knows what he's talking about. Oh, 100%. But I see what you're saying. His videos can feel like getting machine gunned with info. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel right now. But you're right. I mean, I love Hormozi's videos. We've reacted to them before in the past, and I've learned a lot from him. Yeah, but definitely the style of video definitely feels like I'm getting machine gunned with information, and I don't like it as much as just a dude in his office talking to me about his business. That's just me, though. I guess that's the style of content that I produce as well. I don't really edit my stuff much either, so maybe I'm biased.
That's the goal. Well, my hypothesis is either we might say it's a volume thing, which is if I double the amount of shorts I make, then we will get more traffic to our website from our organic content. And at the end of the quarter,
That's actually a really good one for Ecom right there, because a lot of people asked in the stream earlier about TikTok organic. Try this, that could actually benefit your business a lot. It could just be like, okay, well, let's see what happens if I start posting on 2 pages, right? And posting slightly different content on both pages. Let's see if we double our traffic.
did you make twice as many shorts? Okay, green, fantastic. Did that result in more link clicks on the site? Oh, it didn't. Huh, interesting. I wonder what would do it. Okay, we need to create more content that's more story-based. Great, go back to the beginning. If we create more story-based content, we will get more link clicks to websites.
Okay, this is actually, I like that he's presenting more examples now, but this actually makes a lot of sense. Like, actually make little experiments in your business all the time, but actually measure them. Don't just like assume things, right? Like, okay, we're gonna start posting on a second channel and that should increase our traffic. We do it. Does it increase the traffic? No. Okay, then, we test something else. I like that.
That's why goal setting, if done right, should take work, because it makes you think, why am I even doing what I'm doing? And if you don't take like a day for a whole quarter to think, why am I even bothering to do this? Then why are you bothering to do it without understanding what you're trying to improve? And the thing is if you think this way as a teammate or an entrepreneur, I promise you, you will be so much more valuable to your company if you can even think like a business owner. And this is how a good business owner should think. And if you can approach whoever runs your company with this model, you may find that they will see you differently because they're like, wow, Timmy, who's making these video clips, is actually thinking about what I care about, which is how I'm gonna get more customers, whatever the second part of the statement is.
True. I kind of want to share this video with my team as well, because I think that's actually a really good point. If your team can start thinking like this, then you really start to pop off, right? Because you're not micromanaging every little test. You're letting them do it and finding levers for the business that you didn't even see before.
If you know what you're...
Yes, I can see your message, Michael. I see it. And Finley. Hello. Welcome to the stream.
Actually trying to accomplish in the business, then it makes it a lot easier. What problem are we solving? What's our hypothesis? What are we gonna do? What do we think is gonna happen? Did we do it? Did it happen? That's it. And so that has been the simplest goal setting framework that we've used. We use this across all our portfolio companies. That's what we do across everything. And it's been the simplest thing that I've seen. I haven't seen it anywhere else. It's worked for us, and maybe it'll work for you.
Boom. All right. Well, that was really good. I actually got to get going here soon, unfortunately. I just wanted to watch a couple videos on stream. I wanted to break my streaming fast. I haven't streamed in like a month, even though I've said to myself that I should do it more. So I'm really happy now that I did it. And I feel great. I got a couple videos I can post now, farm some content, watch some content, learn some things, connected with the community a little bit. One thing I will say for everybody watching, if you are in the Chemi Lab Mastermind, we are doing a call tomorrow. Tomorrow is our group call. We do these every week, every other week with me. It's pretty dope. Hope to see you guys there. Link in bio if you want to join. You can pay in installments if you want to pay in installments. That's fine. But yeah, this was actually really fun. So hopefully you guys loved this as much as I did and learned as much as I did. If not, that's okay. We'll do this again. And maybe you guys can actually find content that you want me to watch with you. That could be a good thing too. Yeah,